A very good evening to all of you. I hope you all are doing good. Well, today we have gathered here this workshop to talk about one of the most important question that we have with respect to NCERT, that is the importance of NCERT in the UPSC examination. Now, we all know that UPSC is conducted in three stages, that is the prelim stage, the main stage, and the interview stage. Now, the question that most of the aspirants ask is that what is the importance of NCERT? Why do we keep hearing NCERT? Or can we directly study reference book rather than just studying NCERT? So today in this workshop, we are going to answer all the questions with respect to NCERT, and we are also going to discuss how NCERT plays a very crucial role in our preparation, not only just in prelims but also in our mains examination. So I hope this is clear that there are three stages of examination. Now starting with the importance of NCERT. So when we talk about UPSC, once we just graduate our school and once we come into college and then we just start thinking about our career. So the first thing that comes to our mind, I want to be a bureaucrat and I want to start preparing for UPSC. But when we just enter into this deep sea, we see a lot of study material is there, a lot of videos are there, and everybody is talking more or less the same thing. But then how do we enter this? How do we start our preparation? Now, एनसीईआरटी की किताबें एक ऐसी किताब है जो हम सब ने अपने स्कूल टाइम पे पढ़ी हुई है, और ऐसा नहीं है कि हम में से कोई भी उसे पढ़कर नहीं आता है. हम एटलीस्ट 10th क्लास तक सब एक साथ इंग्लिश, हिंदी, maths, science, EVS, we all study the same NCERT. And then once we are into our 11th standard, the streams get bifurcated, where science students study the science NCERT, for example, physics, chemistry, bio, and humanities goes for humanities subject, for example, geography, history, psychology, economics, all of that. Now the question that arises is, how do we know which of these NCERT is important? या सबसे पहले ये जानना शुरू करते हैं कि NCERT पे हम इतना फोकस करते ही क्यों हैं? Because we have to understand that NCERTs are not just merely books, rather they are the foundation for any government exam that we are going to prepare. They are not just relevant for UPSC, but they're also going to be very, very crucial for any of the government examination. Now, why so? Let us just look here, because comprehensive coverage, because NCERT gives us a plan, it gives us a roadmap, a sort of a blueprint where we get a clearer understanding of what all topics we have to prepare, how much do we have to study. It gives us a kind of, you can say, the timetable, because किसी भी चीज को शुरू करने से पहले हमारे माइंड में एक पिक्चर होना बहुत जरूरी है कि हमें कैसे आगे बढ़ना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री की बात करें तो जो एनसीईआरटी का एक इंडेक्स होता है वो अपने आप में एक थीम्स है यूपीएससी का. तो सिमिलरली एनसीईआरटी से बहुत सारी चीजें हमें एक क्लैरिटी मिलती है. अब हम बात करते हैं, बिकॉज जब बहुत सारे एस्पिरेंट्स होते हैं उनका सबसे पहला सवाल होता है, बिकॉज नाउ दिस इज द एज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, अ लॉट ऑफ मटेरियल इज ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल ऑन इंटरनेट, तो एनसीईआरटीज की समरी भी अवेलेबल होती है. सो द क्वेश्चन दैट कम्स इज कि मैम क्या हम सिर्फ समरी पढ़ के काम चला सकते हैं, या क्या हम डायरेक्टली रेफरेंस बुक पढ़ ले और एनसीईआरटी को छोड़ दें? सो what do you think? So the answer to this question will vary. Agar 800 students are getting selected, so you will see that they have 800 different strategies. But हमें यहाँ पे क्या ध्यान देना है? We have to see कि जो 800 students हैं उसमें से जो सबसे common बात we'll keep hearing is that NCERT is very, very important. I started my preparation with NCERT, so you cannot afford to miss reading NCERT. So directly jumping onto the reference book, I am not saying कि आप लोग समझ नहीं पाएंगे. Yes, आपको समझ भी आ जाएगा, but it is going to take time. आप बहुत सारे important चीजें मिस कर देंगे, because जब आप इस preparation को शुरू करेंगे, once you'll start, you will see a lot of questions are being directly asked from NCERT. Now how? We will be discussing that as well, but let us see, understand this, how NCERT is helping us build a strong foundation. Because NCERT, like I just mentioned, it is giving us a clearer understanding. अब हम बात करते हैं कि हमें कोई भी, if we have to construct a house, तो हम what do we do, like what is our first step? हम make sure करते हैं कि हमारे घर की जो नींव है वो एकदम strong हो, because जब नींव strong होगी तभी हमारी building उस पर strongly खड़ी रहेगी. तो सिमिलरली जब आप यूपीएससी की प्रेपरेशन करते हैं, आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स अगर क्लियर नहीं होंगे, इफ यू डू नॉट हैव द डीपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द कॉन्सेप्ट मीन्स, व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन, तो आपकी प्रेपरेशन में कहीं ना कहीं कमी रह जाएगी. हो सकता है कि आप प्रीलिम्स में सॉल्व कर लें हिट एंड ट्रायल मेथड से या आपकी फेंट मेमोरी से, बट अगर आप इंटरव्यू स्टेज तक पहुंचते हैं एंड इमेजिन अगर आपसे यूपीएससी बोर्ड एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछता है, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय लिबर्टी, तो इन सब सच डेफिनेशंस दे आर इजीली अवेलेबल इन एनसीईआरटी, और एनसीईआरटी से बेटर लिखी हुई डेफिनेशन आपको कहीं पर भी नहीं मिलेगी. सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी थरो विद दैट नीव, बिकॉज अगर आपका नीव स्ट्रांग होगा, आपका एनसीईआरटी का कंसेप्ट फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग होगा, तभी आपकी यूपीएससी की बिल्डिंग एकदम स्टैंड टॉल रहेगी, एंड दैट इज हाउ यू विल सेल थ्रू दिस एंटायर जर्नी ऑफ योर प्रेपरेशन. नाउ अब सिंपल, there are source of practice question as well in NCERT. हम ये चीज मिस आउट कर देते हैं when we are in rush, या हम बहुत जल्दी में होते हैं, हम इन छोटी छोटी चीजों पर ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. How? So there are certain questions, not just prelims question, rather I would say the MCQs, but there are mains questions as well, subjective questions that are given in the form of exercise after every chapter, but most of us, we don't even look at those questions, and you will see more or less they are similar to what is being asked in the mains examination. So whenever you are studying any chapter in your NCERT, you should definitely practice those questions, because usse aapko pata chalega how well you have understood that particular chapter. Kya aap relate kar pa rahe hain, kya aapko concept samajh aa raha hai. Similarly, I will show you ki how it is not just relevant. A lot of students ask this question as well कि मैम हम लोग प्रीलिम्स की प्रेपरेशन कर लेंगे एनसीईआरटी से, बट हाउ इज एनसीईआरटी रेलेवेंट इन मेंस एग्जामिनेशन. सो सी, वेरी सिंपल आंसर टू दिस इज कि एमसीक्यू तो हमने सॉल्व कर लिया, बट व्हाट अबाउट द ऐसे question paper or the for example all the GS papers, kahin na kahin whenever we have to start writing down the answer, we need an introduction. अब वो introduction कहाँ से आएगी, या हम कभी भी जब ऐसे लिखते हैं, so there are certain stories that we can write down, and those stories, those definitions आप directly NCERT से pick up कर सकते हैं. So you will see NCERT is not just relevant for your prelims examination or for your base, but rather it is very very crucial for your entire UPSC preparation, that includes your मेंस एग्जामिनेशन ऑल्सो. नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जब हम ये बात करते हैं तो वी विल सी हाउ यूपीएससी इज डायरेक्टली गिविंग क्वेश्चंस, हाउ यूपीएससी इज इनडायरेक्टली गिविंग क्वेश्चंस इन द एग्जामिनेशन. बट कुछ कॉमन मिस्टेक्स की हम बात कर लेते हैं उससे पहले. लेट अस जस्ट टॉक अबाउट द कॉमन मिस्टेक्स दैट स्टूडेंट्स और द एस्पिरेंट्स whenever they are entering into the preparation, they do it. So the first mistake that they do is they just read the NCERT, like they just flip the pages rather than understanding or analyzing what exactly the concept is or how it is relevant to our examination. We just flip the pages because we have this perception in our mind that हमें सिर्फ पढ़ना है, हमें सिर्फ एक बार एनसीईआरटी को फ्लिप करना है. सो दैट इज नॉट ट्रू. प्लीज डू नॉट मेक दिस मिस्टेक. Read your NCERTs very very thoroughly, and once you are done with your NCERT, you will see how easily you are able to relate all the concepts given in NCERT with the newspaper, that means with your current affairs, or with the reference book. For example, when we talk about history, you will see it in in your NCERT, it is like a picture. If you make a story line in your head, you will remember all the facts, because ये बहुत common mistake है और ये बहुत common question और doubt आता है students के mind में कि history is very factual. For example, somebody is from a science background, he has no idea about history, geography, economics. So के लिए what is the best way to start preparing? That is NCERT. और जब आप एक picture अपने mind में बनाएंगे, you will get the clarity of thoughts, the clarity of concepts. So once you face that interview board, that means once you're in the final stage, NCERT से पढ़ी हुई definitions will give you a clarity of concept, and it will also helps you build a very, very strong foundation. Now, another common mistake that aspirants does is summary. जैसे we just talked about, do not go for summaries. Please pick up your books, read the NCERT and read it from the exam perspective, because class 6 से लेके 12 तक हम सब NCERTs पढ़कर आते हैं, but why do we have to read them all over again is because the basic difference or the minor difference lies is तब हम सारी चीजों को समझने के लिए पढ़ते हैं, यहाँ से हमें NCERT एग्जाम पर्सपेक्टिव से समझना है. So I hope this is clear to you. Now pick up the definitions when you're reading it. अब ये भी एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि क्या NCERT से नोट्स बनाने हैं, क्या हमें we have to make holistic notes, क्या हमें सारी 6 to 12th NCERTs पढ़नी है. So इसके भी you will find various answers to it. So all this will be simplified once you start the journey of going through NCERTs, and you will see that making notes is it's an art, so it will take time. So you should never make notes while you're reading it for the first time, because for the first time you should just understand the concept. Now this was all about NCERT, since I hope it is clear to you, because NCERT is very, very important, and it is not just important. Now let me give you some example and I'll tell you how you have to go through it, and I would want, if you want, you can also participate in the answers. So these are the questions that I have picked up from the UPSC prelims examination, and I'll tell you how they are directly linked with the NCERT. So I hope this question is clear, visible to you. So the first question, this is, consider the following pairs. Port, well known as Kamaraj Port, the first major port in India registered as a company. The option 2 is Mundra Port, that is the largest privately owned port in India. Then the third option is Vishakhapatnam, that is the largest container port in Port India. Now, how many of these pairs are correctly matched? So I request you to just give it a try and just try it once and see like what sort of a question this is. It's directly I've picked up from the question paper, and how do we relate it with the NCERT? So if you look carefully, I'm giving you 5 seconds or maybe 10 seconds to think about it. Can you see the answer? Can you guess the answer in this? Okay. So now let us just look at the question. So this question might not be able to understand how it is related to NCERT, or which all sentences we'll find in NCERT. But if you have read NCERT very carefully, you will see that you can answer this question very easily, because it is directly mentioned in Economics class 11th NCERT. There is a map section, and from that map section, you will see that option 3 is the wrong answer. So once you know that option 3 is the wrong answer, you can just take your risk and you will see how direct information is there in the NCERT. So similarly, let us look at another question that I have picked up for you. That is, one more thing, once you will start preparing your UPSC journey, you will see that Buddhism and Jainism is one favorite topic of UPSC, and there are going to be questions each and every time in the examination. So the question that I have picked up is, with reference to ancient India, consider the following statements. The concept of stupa is Buddhist origin. So whenever we hear this word stupa, the first thing that comes to our mind is Buddhism. So we'll say that, okay, the statement is correct. Now, the next statement, stupa was generally a repository of relic. Can say that, not sure, might be 50-50 for some of us, but whosoever has prepared Buddhism and Jainism will say that this statement is correct. Now the third statement I hope is visible to you. Stupa was votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. Yes, the statement is correct. Now, how many of the statement given are correct? Now see, most of us will mark the answer as all three are correct. But if you carefully see this, if you have read the NCERT very carefully, there was a word written maybe in the NCERT. So the word says maybe the stupa is older than the Buddhist tradition. So because of that word maybe, the first statement stands to be negated. So therefore the answer is going to be only two statements are correct. So that is how NCERT plays a very vital role, because if you look at in the first instance, you will feel that all the three statements are correct. But if you have read the NCERT carefully, and if you have thoroughly just gone through each and every line according to the exam perspective, you will know that there was a doubt in the first statement, and hence your first statement stands negated. So I hope it is clear. And with this, can I say that NCERT is clearly mentioning directly or indirectly each and every question that is being asked in UPSC? Obviously, I'm not saying 100 questions are being directly asked, but yes, you have to prepare NCERT from the exam perspective. Now, let us look at the third question. Which one of the following region was Dhankata, which flourished a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas located? Now all these three. Now this is a map-based question. If you have again gone through all the maps that are there in your NCERT, you will be able to answer this. Now for example, you will know that all the three regions, that is B, option C and D, they're mentioned somewhere in the northern part of the map. Even if you don't exactly remember Andhra, but you will still be able to answer this. So I hope this makes very clear how UPSC is directly picking up questions. Now for example, if there is let us just see here once. Now even if there is a map mentioned in your NCERT, for example, this is the map mentioned in your NCERT, and there is one brief description given about any of the thing that is relevant in the map, UPSC will pick up questions directly from this description also. So why am I focusing or emphasizing so much here is because each and every line, each and every diagram that is there in your NCERT, it is very important from your exam perspective. So my answer to the question that can we skip NCERT, my answer would be you should not skip NCERT, because if you do the proper analysis of the question paper also, you will see the range of questions that is being asked from NCERT is somewhere around 15 to 20 from last 7 to 8 years. So I hope the importance, the relevance of NCERT is clear to you. You know that it is very important. Let us take another example. There was a question in your prelims examination with respect to the chief purpose of the Constitution of India. Now, if you look at that question very carefully, and if you look at the options of that question very carefully, you will see all the questions, all the statements, that means all the options that were given to you, they resemble each other. For example, Dinesh, Hiresh, Mahesh, all of them very close to each other. So how do you find this? But if you have read that NCERT properly and the particular chapter properly, that means the class 11th NCERT Constitution at Work, you will be able to answer that question. So sometimes you don't directly get the statement from a paragraph. You also have to read the entire chapter, have the holistic understanding in order to answer all the questions that are being asked by UPSC. So I hope all the four questions, how they're relevant from an exam perspective, how UPSC is connecting NCERT and asking questions is clear to you. Now, there are some students and they have doubt. Like, ma'am, now you have told us that we just don't need to read NCERT. How do we go about? So in KSG, we have a special dedicated program for you by the name of NEEV. In that NEEV program, let me just explain you what is NEEV all about. NEEV NCERT. This is specifically designed for all the students who are not just preparing for UPSC, but all the other government exam where NCERT plays a very vital role. Now in this program, this has been specifically designed for college students. We start from the basics. We teach them NCERT from the exam perspective. and we make their concepts holistically very clear, giving them a strong foundation, helping them to understand the nature of examination in a better manner. Now, what is this NEEV all about? So this NEEV, the duration of the course, it is going to start from 1st July, and the duration of the course will be approximately 3 months. That means in 3 months we are going to teach you all the NCERTs, all the relevant subject from the exam perspective. Now, the classes would be conducted on weekdays, and sometimes you will also be having the extra classes. Now, the duration of each class is going to be 2 hours. That is, the class will start from 5:30 p.m. and it will end approximately around 7:30 p.m. So that means all the students who are in college or who are preparing, who are having their other classes as well, can take this course, because the timings is in the evening for 2 hours. Apart from this, there is a WhatsApp group where you can specifically ask the doubts. Like, if you cannot physically attend the classes, you can ask your doubt during the live classes. Apart from that, you will be assigned a mentor where you can ask academic as well as the non-academic issues. You can ask all sort of questions that you're facing while preparing for the UPSC examination, the list of NCERTs, like how do you start answer writing. So all sort of questions can be asked from your mentor. Now, apart from that, every day you will be provided a section of notes or whatever has been taught to you in class, and based on whatever has been taught to you in class, there will be a objective test. So that means we are in KSG, we are not just teaching you, rather we also want your participation, that whatever you study, you please practice, revise and ask your doubts. So I hope the program is clear. Another special features that we have in NEEV is there will be a vertical plan. Now, what is vertical plan all about? In vertical plan, you will be informed beforehand which subject class would be taking place. Then, I have already mentioned the notes, the daily test. Then the one important another feature that we at KSG are providing you is the Zoom session. That means every fortnightly, there will be a Zoom session with your mentor, where you will be discussing the basic questions. For example, how to read newspaper, how to understand the syllabus, the very essence, because nobody is going to come and tell you that how you have to look at the syllabus itself, how do you have to relate the newspaper and the syllabus. Then we will have a test series. That means after your course is over, you will be given test series where you will be asked questions directly from the NCERT, 100 questions each, and you will be expected to attempt that test as if you are writing down the prelims examination, so that you understand how much of you have grasped the knowledge of in the NCERT. Now, other is the technical thing. If there is problem with that, is the features of our course. There is a technical team always ready to help you if there is some problem with your video, if there is some problem with the portal. So all these features are essential in the NEEV plan, and all of this has been specifically designed for you students, so that you can have a very strong foundation in the NCERT. I hope this is clear. Just giving you a slight glimpse. This is how your vertical plan looks like. You will be told the date, the faculty and the subject. Now, apart from that, there are certain links that KSG is providing you so that you can, enhance your study. We give you free study material that is there available on our website, which you can visit, which you can, collaborate with your preparation so that you get a better understanding of the examination. So I hope this is clear. This was all about the NCERT, and I hope the doubt that whether or not we should go about NCERT is clear to you or not, because believe me, even if you look at a lot of toppers video who have been selected, most of them will be saying that yes, they have gone through NCERT, because NCERT plays a very, very crucial role in your preparation. It is going to act as your strong foundation. So with this, I'm ending today's workshop. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to visit KSG website. You can visit our centers as well. I hope the workshop was helpful to you in knowing the importance of NCERT. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.